Hi, I'm Julieann Hartman, and I'm here with Carly and Sophia, and we're in Uganda!
Hartman House started out of a desire to really give back to the audience that I felt really helped me achieve what I wanted to in my career.
Jorge Alvarado, we're going to give his family their new house. So follow me down this street.
It is my heart. I am constantly waking up and thinking, who can I help? Who can I help? What can I do? Who needs help? Where? I'll go.
There's 600 turkeys coming in. Everybody's working hard just to help people, and that's what we're here for.
Our main goal is to just help the need before it becomes a need, and our motto is a heart for building hope.
My goal is to raise up our generation to be world changers, because each and every person in this room is.
It's a movement to reach those that can't be reached, but Hartman House is the one to reach out to them.
So the one thing that really struck us was we saw a gentleman come to our church who told us that he needed an antenna in Uganda, in Kampala, to broadcast to everywhere in the villages and in the bush about why people were dying early in life. And basically it was AIDS. So when he got up on that stage and he said, we need $24,000 to put up a mast so that people could be told all over Uganda, all over Africa, that this was happening, Butch and I looked at each other that day and said, oh, that's us.
Lo and behold, next thing you know, we're sending money to him. He's getting the antenna, but then we decide we've got to go to Uganda to make sure this is all going well. So we're making plans to go to Uganda now. Now we're going to take my young daughters, my wife and myself to Uganda. And I got to admit, I was terrified because I had never been to a third world country like that.
The thought of going, out of the country, and not only just out of the country, but across the globe to Africa was shocking. I would never expect some little 9-year-old Californian to go into Africa and, try and make a change. That just was a very interesting concept for me. But once we got on the ground, man, everything changed.
Mommy, I drink apple juice with my malaria pill in the morning, and I drink hot chocolate with my malaria pill at night.
That's good. Okay, all right.
Because I swallowed it down really easy.
Say hi, wave. What's your name?
Gusto.
There are no words to adequately explain the impact that it had on me. Now, yes, did this gift have an impact on the community and the people that we gave it to, the radio antenna? Absolutely it did. But the impact it had on me, the impact it had on my wife, the impact I knew it would have on my children was beyond belief. I mean, how many girls, kids, children from America that age get to go to a country like that, experience not only the giving portion, but seeing these other children from across the world, from a whole different culture, go through life that way.
Whenever I was young and, helping out with my family with Hartman House events, it was kind of part of the family flow, in my opinion. That was just kind of that's what every family does, right? In my mind. And so I just loved it, no matter, if everyone did it or not. I still always loved doing it. However, I did really just think that everyone did what we did and that it was normal. And so when I'd go throughout schooling and, be super grateful for life when all these other kids around me would be really depressed and sad about really small things, I'd always get to go back to, wow, I guess I haven't gotten to see what I've gotten to see. And that's really the big part of the picture here that I'm so thankful that I have now, to just really have had that instilled in me as a young girl, to be grateful for what God has blessed us with.
So right after we came back from Africa, and all I could think about was, who's next? What can I do? What's next? Who is next? And we met a lady. She was speaking at a convention, and she was talking about an orphanage that she was running in a place called Mariani, Haiti.
And she came into our church and said, I need some money to get these shipping containers out of Haitian customs. They were sitting in customs, and it was big containers of like baby clothes, medicine, child raising equipment, everything they could possibly need at this orphanage. And she said what the cost was. My wife and I, once again, looked at each other. We said, I think we can do this.
So of course we didn't want to stop there. So this woman, her name is Eleanor Workman, but everybody calls her Mom. And until we went down there, we didn't understand why people called her Mom. But when we went there and we saw how much the Haitian people loved this woman, and they would do anything for her, they all called her Mom. Everybody did. We understood really what she was about.
It's a bigger dream than most people have. That's awesome.
And if I don't do it, maybe someone else will. And I use the school. You haven't been to the school yet.
Not yet.
We're on our way.
All right. Let's go.
We have to shut the school. Okay, we're going to school. We're going to school now.
It was a challenge going there, looking at how do you fix this? Where do you start? What do you do? It's like trying to clean up your garage. Like, where do you start? But the garage, you know, has an end. Okay, I can finish this. This is a whole country and a whole society that's been this way for years.
The kids were drinking, going to the bathroom, washing in these troughs. They did not have a water system. And again, that was not acceptable to us. When we go into a place, Hartman House is going to make it look amazing. It's just like, you know, when you see in those commercials, a person smiles and you see a little ding on the tooth. Well, that's us. We're like the ding. We're going to go into a place and it's going to be like ding, and everything is going to look beautiful. So we decided that those kids need a toilet, they need sinks, they need showers, they need running water. And that's what we did. This is a bathroom that they built, that Hartman House paid for the boys, to have a shower and a toilet, a real porcelain toilet.
Beautiful. Agua. Yeah. Praise God for that. That's great.
It was nice to go to the orphanage and see what Mom she was doing with all these children, because once when I was outside the gate, it was like 5 kids that came totally naked, and they don't even asking for place to live at. They're asking for food and water. It was very, very emotional.
This sounds like we had it all planned out. Like, oh, we'll go here, we'll do this. It really wasn't like that. We just kind of, you know, closed our eyes and put our finger on the map and said, what should we do next? And those needs presented themselves. You know, first it was Uganda, then it was Haiti. Then we decided to do scholarships here at home, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
By this stage in the game, now Hartman House is in full swing. And we decided that we wanted to help somebody in the community of South Central rebuild or just refurbish a home. We did interviews, and we found this beautiful lady. Her name was Rita Williams. And Rita was just so thankful and so excited that somebody actually cared about her and her existence where she lived.
It was quite revealing when we went to her home and saw the condition that it was in, that it was obviously in need of major repairs. And it's not something that I had really ever done before, because basically I sold people homes that were in fairly decent repair, or they couldn't have passed an inspection process. So it was something that was familiar but unfamiliar in that particular circumstance.
Boy, was it a lot of work, but we got it done, and we got it done on time.
The first few years of the Hartman House, we were involved in a turkey giveaway called the Thanksgiving Harvest. We had an assembly line. At the turkey giveaway, we had an assembly line of people. So we had people stuffing these bags with all of the fixings, from cornbread to corn, cranberry sauce, cake mix, bags of potatoes, and then ultimately the turkey.
And it was so awesome. I mean, it was a small group of people that came, but it was so awesome to see that we could provide them with meals on a holiday that you're supposed to be spending with family. You're not supposed to be thinking about really your needs on Thanksgiving, rather than thinking about how it's awesome to be with your family. And so the fact that we got to kind of take their eyes off of the need of their financial struggle, rather put them on, you know, the love of their family they had around them.
Part of the Thanksgiving giveaways that we got to do in Texas, like the best part about the whole thing is seeing the faces of all of the recipients of the Thanksgiving, you know, meal that we would give them and all of the, you know, fixings that they got with it. Oh my gosh, just walking out, like, and you just see all of them carrying all their new goodies back to their families and their spouses, and it was just such a beautiful sight because they were just over the moon. I mean, literally, this is just a turkey and some extra, you know, side dishes, yet it was totally life-changing for them. And that's what's so special, again, just seeing joy in the little things, because that's what we are supposed to do.
You know, when you're young parents, you're always thinking about, well, where can we travel for spring break? Where can we travel for Christmas? Where can we travel for Thanksgiving? Well, I actually came up with, where do we go to help people? And so that's what was so fun, is that we were able to take our kids on so many trips to help other people. For instance, we decided to build a home for someone in Guatemala.
I remember first getting off the plane, there was a man who had no legs and he was selling pencils on a skateboard right outside of the airport. And he was trying to sell us a pencil. And so what we got to do, instead of buying his pencil, we got to give him a wheelchair for free. So now he could, you know, expand his business and not be as physically disabled as he was, just being able to use a skateboard and using his arms to push it. Now he's in a wheelchair where he can get to far and wide more places with that help. So that was awesome.
We found a family that had 2 girls, 1 boy, and then a baby. And it was the baby that really got me. I went and saw their living situation. The room, if we can even call it a room, that baby was staying in was, first of all, it was all cardboard. There was some aluminum, but mainly the house was cardboard. And on that cardboard wall where the baby was sleeping was this like a little, you know, like a little bassinet type makeshift thing. Not really a bassinet, but something like that. The whole wall was black mold. And right away when I saw it, I went, oh my gosh, there's black mold all over the wall and this baby is sleeping here. We gotta change this.
These guys did a great job, and God is good. And I'll show you the inside of the house right now, come on.
You know, you start this foundation and you think you're gonna help all these other strangers in the world, and you really don't realize until you're deep into it, knee deep into it, that you're really helping out your own family too. I got to witness my own daughters grow up as the foundation grew, and I got to see them experience giving in a way that I would hope all parents could.
To see the transformation and to see their eyes just be widened to the fact that they actually have a home to come home to was amazing.
I'll never forget that experience when we were all standing around holding hands, praying together, and the family just had tears in their eyes and they were so grateful.
There was a time where, from the inception of our foundation to around, I think, 2011, 2012, we were really moving. We were doing, you know, we were flying everywhere. We were building things. We were doing this, doing that, just kind of really going real hot and heavy. And then we hit a bit of a, I won't say stopping point because we never stopped, but we stopped traveling as much. And the reason is, Hartman House is important, but the actual Hartman House where the Hartmans live, that's important too. So instead of going out, we stayed home, and Hartman House became more of a conduit to provide funding for other people who were going out there and being on the ground.
It's not easy to run an organization and then do all the advertisement, all the promotions, all the fundraising. It's hard. It's a lot of work. So that's where we came in on a lot of different organizations. For instance, Water Springs Ranch is a home for abused children. They are located in Texarkana, Arkansas. We went there. We saw these kids.
They take in and provide for kids that have been abused either mentally or sexually, and they give them a place to live. Kids that have been abandoned. All the houses have different ages of kids. One house will be for boys 4 to 6. One house will be for girls 10 to 13. All the houses have house parents that have been vetted, that have been okayed by the ranch to watch over these kids. So we provide as much as we can for them, and we just love that place and can't say enough about it. One of the places we found we wanted to partner with, it was very local here in LA, was the New Friends Homeless Center run by Pastor April Belt. And you talk about a heart for helping people and helping the community. This woman, April Belt, has such a heart to help people. She feeds hundreds of people every week through the New Friends Homeless Center.
We're able to not only help them financially, but we actually go and we help with the feedings. They get together multiple days of the week, and they get to come out of the heat, they get to come out of the cold, and just enjoy each other's company. We have entertainment there. We serve them. We serve them not with gloves on, like we don't want to touch them. We serve them with our bare hands because they matter.
But what New Friends Homeless Center has really taught me is that they are people just like me. There is no difference between me and them. Why not teach them how to get help? Why not teach them how to get blessed? Why not show them that there is life after, living on the streets?
I think the homelessness part of it is left outside the door for that couple of hours that they spend with us, because we have a home-friendly environment for them there.
Hartman House supports New Friends Homeless Center financially and physically. And that's how we are going to make a difference in the homeless community of the San Fernando Valley. The most exciting thing that a parent could ever ask for from their children would be having them grow up and do the very things that they were exposed to, that you exposed them to as young kids.
My daughter Carly, for example, has started this brand new beauty pageant. It's called Pageant 360. And it's not an outer beauty pageant where you look at just a beautiful body on a woman. It's an inner beauty pageant. We look at the heart of the woman.
So we had our first one in 2014, and then ever since we have had pageants in Los Angeles, and now we're touring around the world, and it's so incredible. So it really has to do with our Inner Beauty Conference that we have the week before the pageant, which really empowers girls to be confident in who they were created to be, in their bodies, and just knowing that they are able to change the world no matter what was ever said about them or whatever was done to them in life. They are able to dream, they're able to move forward and make a difference no matter their age.
You are important and you matter, and you don't have to look to Instagram to see what you should look like, and you don't have to go to Twitter to try and impress people. You don't have to try and be the girl that the guy wants to see. Like, I'm exciting and I'm worth it and I matter, and I don't really have to look to what anyone else says because I don't need to get my affirmation from other people.
So I guess the biggest question I have is, and you might not have a right answer for this, you may, I'm sure you do, how do we change Uganda? How do you intend to change Uganda?
In 2006, when we were sitting face to face with a gentleman from Kampala, Uganda, and asked him, what can we do to help the people here in Uganda? And he told us it was education. We knew then that that was something that we were going to do. And this was what's so awesome. It wasn't for that time. I am a mother first before I'm anything else. And at that time, my kids were too young, and I could not be going back and forth, flying back and forth to Africa to build a school for other kids when I had my own children at home. And I believe that that was the best choice I could have ever made for my family. In 2018, we are now going to build our first Hartman House School of Destiny.
I think you would say if our foundation had a dream, that would be it. It'd be the Hartman House School of Destiny. We are going to build a school in Uganda that's going to educate kids, that's going to include as many kids as we can get into it, that's going to be available to whoever wants to come in, that's going to provide a vision for these children to see outside of themselves and see outside of their situation as to what life can be like. And it won't be the only School of Destiny. We're going to have School of Destinies in other countries as well.
The second time we went to Africa when I was a young adult, we got to see, the children again, just all the beautiful people that live there, just like the first time that we went. And We got to see all these kids that go to school, but they may not be able to afford, you know, the school fees that are required by these institutions. And so that's really another reason, that's the main reason why we want to create the School of Destiny.
We're going to keep going, we're going to keep moving, we're going to keep expanding. It was first my wife and I, now it's our kids. It's going to be their kids and their kids after them. They're going to pull in all of their relatives, all of their families. We want to pull all of you along with us. We need your help. We want you guys to be part of this journey with us. It's an awesome journey. You need to experience it.